We all know what it's like when we need to make a decision and we just can't do it. I've struggled chronically with decision making my whole life. Ever since I started asking my body what my truth was and paying attention to the energy behind the decision, the whole thing became so much easier than when I relied solely on my rational, ego-based mind to help me make decisions. And that's exactly what we'll be diving into in this class. We'll practice a kundalini kriya for truth, some gentle hatha yoga, some somatic exercises, and most importantly, a sway test. Let's get into it. Come to a nice, comfy, cross-legged position on your mat. We're going to start this class with a kundalini kriya. And this kriya is to help access your truth. So placing your hands, you can put them either just laying across your legs or you can have them resting on your knees. And the motion is kind of like a seated cat-cow. So inhaling and looking up to the sky, kind of arching your back backwards, and you can start doing this nice and gently, nice and slowly, just to kind of get a feel for the movement. And then on the exhale, rounding forward, bringing your chin to your chest. And again, inhaling, sending your head back. If you have any neck pain or back pain here, you can alter this movement any way you need. So you can leave the head out altogether. You can focus just kind of bending your lower back, your mid back, your upper back, whatever is going to be the most comfortable for you. Keep going, inhaling back and exhaling as you come forward, just going along at your own pace. Forceful inhales and exhales through the nose. I invite you to close your eyes, maybe bringing your gaze to your third eye in between your eyebrows. And if you'd like, you can chant in your head or out loud. As you inhale, Sat, and as you exhale, Nam. So the mantra here is Sat Nam, which is I am truth. And we'll be here for 2 minutes. So we're already 30 seconds in, so just a minute and a half left. Sat Nam, inhaling back and exhaling forward. And we're halfway, so maybe increase the speed or the intensity just a little, still just doing whatever is comfortable for you. And the last 30 seconds, so pick up the pace. You can make your inhales and exhales even more dramatic, even more intense. Really focusing on that third eye. I am truth. And take your last inhale here. And holding that inhale in, stop moving and just allow that energy to fill you up. Have a little feel of how the energy in your body is moving around after doing this kriya. When you're ready, you can let the air out of your lungs nice and slowly. And bringing your breathing back to normal. Now we'll do a little somatic check-in. So this is just to show our body that we're currently not under threat. We are safe. So very slowly, just turning your head to the right, having a little look around the room, orienting yourself to this space. And very slowly, now turning to the left. Again, just take in the absence of threat right now. And very slowly looking down at the ground beneath you. And looking upwards. And bring your head back into a neutral position. And we'll just set some intentions for this class. So you might like to think of one thing that you would like some clarity on. This could be as general or as specific as you would like it to be. Have a little think about what clarity would look or feel like for you. How would you know if you had clarity on this topic? And what would that feel like energetically and in your body? Now we'll do a little energetic alignment. So sitting up tall and straight, imagine a string coming all the way through your spine, attaching to the earth and coming up through the top of your head. And imagine this string is pulling you up straight. So you are in a perfectly straight line. Your spine is perfectly straight. Then imagining some horizontal lines doing the same thing. So maybe it's through your feet, your knees, your hips, pulling you into alignment with yourself. Maybe through your ribs, your shoulders, your neck, your jaw, your head. Just imagine that if there was such a three-dimensional grid, your body right now would be perfectly aligned to that grid. And just feel what that feels like, to just be centered, aligned, and feeling really strong and grounded in that. And we'll move into tabletop. So you can kind of roll over your knees, coming onto your hands and knees, your hands directly under your shoulders and your knees directly under your hips. Spine straight like a tabletop, and just softly looking down at the mat in front of you. thinking about that clarity and what that clarity would feel like for you. Send that energy out through your hands, through your legs and into the earth. Just grounding those intentions. Maybe then pulling that energy back up through the earth, allowing it to fill every cell of your body. Take a last couple of breaths in tabletop. Then tuck your toes, inhale, and then press your hips up and back into down dog. Focusing on elongating your spine in this pose. Taking some deep breaths. And I invite you to move around a bit if your body would like to twist or wiggle. In down dog, you don't have to be completely still. What is your body asking for? Continuing to take some deep, grounding breaths. Take a final inhale, and on your exhale, step your feet up towards your hands for forward fold. Hinging at your hips, feet hip width apart, and straightening your legs any amount. They don't need to be perfectly straight. Just allowing your neck and your head to hang forward. Imagining the thoughts, the overthinking, the nagging ego that lives in your mind. Imagine all of that energy just cascading out the top of your head. Remembering that as humans, we don't always know the answers. Our human mind can't always conceive of all of the intricate details. Only our souls really know. You might like to say to yourself that you open yourself now to whatever the answer might be. Even if the answer doesn't make sense, even if it's illogical, even if it's painful or uncomfortable, I open myself now to whatever it is that my soul knows, knowing that I don't have to act on it if I don't want to. Just knowing it is enough. Taking a few deep breaths. Take a final exhale, and on an inhale, just rolling your body up one vertebra at a time, coming to standing. Once you're standing, we'll do a little just free movement, somatic shaking. So just allow your body to move however it needs to. Just giving your body whatever it needs right now without judgment. There is no right or wrong. At the end of the day, everything happens for a reason. And maybe our mind is too small and too highly focused to possibly conceive of all of the details that have gone into this reason. Ultimately, whatever happens will work out for the benefit of all involved. sometimes it's not up to us. Sometimes all we have to do is surrender and allow. See if you can tap into that non-judgmental surrender and allowance of your body just moving however it needs to. And just slowing those movements down, starting to come back into stillness. Now we're going to move into a sway test. So this is another way of saying muscle testing. There have been lots of studies done that found that when something is true, our muscles become stronger, and when something is false, our muscles weaken. So a sway test is a way that we can test the strength of our muscles in order to discover the truth of any statement. Ideally, this test helps us to bypass the ego and the mind, but sometimes the ego can still get in the way. If your ego is really strongly attached to the outcome of a question, it could influence the answer. And if this is the case for you today, I suggest to come back to the test another time, or get someone else to ask the question just inside their head and then have your body say the answer for them so that your ego can't get in the way, your mind can't alter the results. And if you'd like to learn more about sway testing, I'll put some info in the description. Okay, so coming to a really strong, centered mountain pose. That means just standing up straight, standing up tall, rooting through all four corners of your feet, maybe rolling your shoulders back, maybe bringing your head and neck back into alignment. Just checking that all of your joints are stacked on top of one another. Close your eyes and decide what will be your yes and what will be your no. So some people, when your body kind of leans forward, that means it's a yes. When your body leans back, that means it's a no. You could do left, you could do right, you could do whatever feels good for your body. Just ask your body, what is my yes? Then ask your body, what is my no? Starting with some really easy questions. Maybe asking what your name is. So the questions have to be yes or no answers. So, is my name Alana? And allow your body to show you yes or no. You might need to wait and just drop back into your body and say, I trust you, show me. Maybe you could ask some other mundane questions, maybe something that you ate today, maybe your address, something that you already know the answer to. And when you feel ready, asking your body for the answer to the question that you asked when we were setting intentions at the beginning of the class. You can ask smaller questions. You could break your kind of big decision down into smaller chunks. Or you can just ask whatever feels right. Just take a few minutes to play around with this, getting to know your body's truth. When you're done, just thanking your body, thanking yourself for listening, and just coming back into the room around you. We'll move into Malasana. Bring your heels slightly wider than hip distance apart and turn your toes towards the sides of your mat. Inhale and lift from your waist and circle sweep your arms up over your head, bringing your palms together. Exhale and slowly draw yourself down to the mat into a deep squat. Hands in prayer, pushing your elbows into the sides of your knees. Rooting your feet and your heels into the ground, keeping your spine straight, keeping your hands in prayer. And allow this pose to ground you further into your truth. Hearing your truth takes courage, it takes dedication, and it takes strength. Practice this courage and determination in this pose. Breathing deeply and grounding into the earth beneath you with trust that your truth is within you. And take a final few breaths here. Then bring your hands out to either side of you, behind you, to help lower you down onto the mat. Come onto your knees, maybe separating your knees out wide and keeping your big toes touching. We're moving into hero's pose. Then very slowly, bringing your hands out behind you, fingertips pointing towards you, and arching your back upwards. Opening your chest, opening your heart up to the sky. You can stay here or you can lower down onto your elbows, or you can lower down onto the floor, making sure to keep your knees connected to your mat at all times. Just take a moment here to celebrate yourself. In this hero's pose, you are the hero of your own life. Your truth will set you free. You have the courage to honor your truth. Feel the freedom of your truth opening up through your chest. Taking some deep breaths and opening up your heart space. Take your final few breaths here, and then slowly bringing yourself back up. Maybe take a relaxing child's pose here. allowing your back to completely relax after all that work in hero's pose. Take a final few breaths and slowly bringing yourself back up, coming into a seated position. And then laying down on your back. Inhale and bring your knees to your chest, sealing in your truth. No one can take it from you. Your truth lives within you. And on an exhale, releasing everything down to Shavasana. Releasing all of your expectations. Just allow life to unfold around you for the next few minutes. Feel the air passing by your skin. Listen to the music and allow it to penetrate your ears. Sense the energy circulating in your body after this practice. And just let it all be. Truth is you. You are truth. Sat Nam. You can end your practice here, or you can stay in Shavasana as long as you'd like. There will be a journaling practice to help you further access your truth in the description. If you enjoyed this class, please remember to like and subscribe. And I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.